Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Godfrey, I'm French, and I live in Sanya, and I'm delighted to be here to talk to you about life changes and how to navigate in an ever-changing society. You see, the society is changing now like it has never, ever before. If you think about your grandparents or great-grandparents, like 100 years ago, 200 years ago, life never changes. Life is the same every day, over and over again, for a whole lifetime. That means you're born somewhere, you live somewhere, nothing ever happens except if there is a war, but otherwise people won't move. They usually stay in the same village forever and have the same life forever. Now, this is over. Now, in the last 100 years, the world has changed dramatically since the Industrial Revolution, because we passed from the industrialization to information, digitalization, and now artificial intelligence. And this has deep impact on education and produces profound, irreversible changes to the way we live and to the society. There is even more crucial changes, okay? The 3 years of pandemic have impacted the people and businesses in terrible ways, resulting in lagging economy, layoffs, and a sense of insecurity. Additionally, war zones at the moment, with the war in Ukraine and all the frictions and all the tensions everywhere and all the conflicts, and the political instability also create a sense of fear for the future. So what are the effects of these changes on our society? You would see very often now, relocation is going to be something, it's going to be a daily occurrence. People have to relocate all the time. People have to change, they have to move. Go to a new city, go to a new country, moving all the time. The other thing is that we are in an era of virtual communication. You see, before we do everything face to face until 10 years, 15 years ago. But now everything is done through the internet. Okay, you can have a meeting through Zoom call or whatever video call. So we don't face the people so much as we did before. And we work remotely as well. A lot of people don't go to the office every day, or they spend only part of their time in the office, and they work remotely. They work at home. They work on a train. They work on MRT, whatever, okay? And there is a lot of job uncertainties. If you got a job 30 years ago, you could be about sure that you can keep this job for quite a long time, for quite a few years, maybe 10 years, 20 years. Unless you work for the government, then in that case, it's steady. But if you work for the private sector, if you work for private enterprises, you are always at risk of losing your job anytime. Another thing is that city workers now are longing for a different lifestyle. People are getting tired of doing a 9-to-5 job. I would rather say a 9-to-10 in China. 9-to-10 job, and then go on a commuter, go to work, then go on a commuting again, and back home, sleep, and next day it's again the same over and over again. People realize that it's not really a very good life, it's not a comfortable life, so they are thinking of other ways and of improving their lives. For example, they will make space for spend some time with their family, or spend some time with friends, or doing some sports. So the result is that we have now digital nomads. We have those people who can work remotely completely. They have a computer and a Wi-Fi, and they can work anywhere in the world. It's the case, for example, for designers, architects, writers, people who do copywriting, all kind of works like this. They can be done on a computer. You can be sitting on a beach in Bali, and when your work is done, you send it to the headquarters. So that's a new style, a new lifestyle. And there is a life balance craving for most of the people. Now people think of having a life balance rather than just making money. This is a very new thing in China, okay? In the West, we've been doing that for a long time already, but in China it's very new, okay? So people are repositioning their priorities. They think, okay, what's the point of making so much money if I don't have any time for myself? If I can't do anything with my life except work and work and work? So they reposition their priorities. They say, okay, what is the most important for me? I think the first most important thing is health. If you don't have health, you don't have anything. If you don't have good health, why do you need money? Okay? You can't do anything with money if you're in bad health. So first thing is health. Second thing is mental health and physical health, of course. Okay? And the second thing is money, but money for what? Money for a living, not living for the money. So this is a very big trend now. People are thinking more about their lifestyle. They're not on earth just to work and make money. So it's a new era. We're entering an era of instability and dramatic changes. For some people, such changes are going to be very hard to cope with. And so the reason I'm here today is to share with you some of my views, some of my ideas about how to welcome these changes. How do I know about it? As it was mentioned before, I lived in 8 different countries, and I traveled to about 50 countries. And I already had 8 lives. Okay? I started as a farmer, you know. My family, we were farming and we were breeding horses in a small village of 300 people. And then I became a seaman and a captain because I wanted to have wider horizons. Then I was a water sports coach, a martial arts coach, and then I came to Asia. I was a publisher and a photographer. And then I ended up as a business director. And now I'm a marine consultant and an artist and curator. So as you can see, I went through 8 lives. So big changes, but I'm still alive, right? I'm still there. Although I think I only have 1 life left because, you know what they say about the cat. The cats have 9 lives. So I think I'm a cat too. So anyway, so friends ask me, how did you manage that? How can you go through so many changes and still survive and still thrive? So how did I evolve from being a farmer in a 300 people village to being an international multi-award winner general manager and business owner? I have no secrets at all, and I'm going to tell you, it's very simple. It's quite simple. To perform well through all these changes, there are some prerequisites. There are some things that you need to know and you need to cultivate. And it is all about adaptability, how to be adaptable. And for me to be adaptable, there are 8 key points. And you will understand right away. The first one is the natural aptitude. If you are born in a family which is very tight-knit, and if you need to call your mom or see your mom every 2 days, it's not going to work if you try to relocate 10,000 miles away. So you need to have this natural ability to accept change, the first thing. And also in terms of skills, you have to have a natural ability to be able to absorb new skills, to learn something new. Because when you move, when you change, it's not going to be the same as today. It's going to be different tomorrow. So you will have to adapt to this. The number 2 point is the fear control. Why fear control? Because when you move to a different place, if you move to a different city, it might be okay. If you move to a different country, different culture, different people, different habits, and everything is different, then it's very scary in a way. So you may feel fearful when you are confronted to a new project where you have to maybe relocate and start a new life. Well, you have to control that fear, because I tell you what, just go ahead, and after 3 days, this fear is gone, because you're busy with your new life. The number 3 is you have to trust your guts. What do I mean by trusting your guts? You have to trust your instinct. If you are into a new project, if you have a totally new project, okay, a big change in your life, and you feel something is wrong about it, your instinct is going to tell you something's wrong. Then stop it. Don't go ahead. Trust your own instinct. Number 4 is to learn about acceptance. What is acceptance? It's accepting a lot of things. First is to accept your failures, because you're not going to be successful right away. Everybody knows a lot of the successful people, they fail many, many, many times before they are successful. So this is something you have to accept. You have to know that maybe you're going to fail, but it's okay. You keep going, and you're going to succeed at some point. The second thing is loneliness. When you move to a new place, new country, new environment, maybe you know nobody. You don't have your family with you. You don't have your friends with you. So you might feel very, very lonely for quite some time. So this is something you need to be able to cope with. And the last, but not the least, is naysayers. You know what are naysayers? There are people, your friends, who tell you, no, don't go, it's dangerous, don't do that. No, I wouldn't do it. Why they do so? There might be several reasons. Maybe those people, they are your good friend, and they're afraid for you. They don't want you to take the risk. It goes from a good heart. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's just they're jealous, because they wish they could do the same thing. But they know they can't do it. So they will discourage you to do it on purpose. And the other thing is, maybe some friends that just really like you, and they don't want you to go, because they want you to stay there next to them. So, for these people, the naysayers, don't listen to them at all. Do what you have to do. Just go ahead and do it. Now, there is a few more things. One is the self-confidence and optimism. If you are to start a new life, you have to be self-confident. You have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, you'll never do anything. That's the first point. The second point is optimism. You have to be looking forward with optimism. Pessimism kills everything. If you're optimist, you're going to overcome all the difficulties, and you're going to be successful. The sixth point is about curiosity. Why curiosity? Because if you move into a new life, you have to be curious about everything, about your whole environment, about the new place you live, about the culture, the country, the people, and about your new job, your new business. You have to be curious about everything. By being curious, you will be successful as well, because you will learn a lot of things. And learning is the key. You see, if you move to a new country, or not even a new country, a new industry, you get a new job, you move to a new industry. Okay, that's not your industry, you're not really good at that. But the people who are already in the industry, they are good. So that means you have to compete with people who are better than you. What does that mean? That means you have to train yourself, and you have to learn, constantly learn. There's no age for learning. You know, during the COVID, the last few years during the COVID, I did 8 different courses to learn new stuff. So what you have to absorb everything. You have to learn as much as you can, and then you can be successful. And the last point, and it's very important, you have to do something you like. If you start a new career doing something you don't like, you will never be successful. And the reason is because if you don't like to do something, you're not going to do it well. You're not going to perform well. Instead, if you do something you like, and plus, you're not going to perform well, and you're not going to be happy. Instead, if you do something you like, First, you're going to have a happy life. You're going to be very happy about what you're doing. And second, is you're going to be performing very well. So you have a much more promising future. So that's it. That's the 8 points I wanted to tell you today. So in the end, these are the 8 key points. So you have the keys. And now you just have to turn yourself into a small chameleon, that small animal that changes color depending on which surface he is on. And so just be a chameleon and embrace the future. Thank you.